Hi friends, it's DaintyTank. Thank you for joining me. I did want to start this off acknowledging what's happening in the world right now, with there being so many protests in America, specifically focused for racial injustices and police brutality that's been happening. And it's been really moving and hard, honestly, for this whole week going through and us having to deal with all of this together. It brings up a lot of feelings, a lot of hurt, especially in the Black community, and we care about them. And for that, I need to state Black Lives Matter. They matter so much. And one thing that, I wanted to stop and say, because it is Pride Month, yes, and I'm celebrating Pride Month by playing all of these delightfully gay games, is the one thing I need to really care about and say right now is that we, as an LGBT plus community, really understand and care about this issue fairly deeply. I mean, if there's ever a group who understands pandemics running through their community untouched and uncared for by the government, it's our community. If there's ever a way in which we understand that protests need to happen for social change to come about, again, it's the LGBT plus community. And honestly, it's important to just take the moment and note that the majority of our progress from an LGBT plus community overall, our community, has been through Black, transgender, and members of our community who instituted that change. That's Marsha P. Johnson. That's a lot of just care and persistence from the Black community, who really were the ones who ignited our change from our own community. And it's important to acknowledge that our Black leaders and Black members are quintessentially what drove our change, and it's time for us to help them drive that change too. LGBT plus is the inclusive capabilities here, and so I wanted to stop and say definitively from my standpoint, Black Lives Matter more than anything in this world. And as much fun as we're having with these Pride games, it's important to stop, acknowledge the protests, and say that I'm behind you. Both, I've been doing a lot of financial backing because I'm immunocompromised and can't physically be there. But if you can give, I've given a list of organizations you can support in the space down below. There's also some resources, a couple of Black-owned game creators who I'm linking to down below as well. Support them if you can. It's more important than ever to actually take a voice in this, specifically with the current administration's lack of caring about humanity. And thus, I wanted to take this second. Thank you. I am going to switch back to the game that I was going to play, which is called Pride Run, but wanted to kick this off letting you know and supporting all of our members of this community. Every one of you is so loved. Alright, I'll see you in the game. Alright, bye. Hi friends, this is DaintyTank.
You ready? Come on, play it out loud. Come on, play it out loud. Come on, play it out loud. Come on, play it. Come on, play it out loud.
That's important. There we go. So I played this game, as you can tell, before. Problem is, I couldn't say or talk about anything because honestly I had too many feelings. And so what actually ended up happening is that I just sat there trying to have feelings and not knowing how to articulate it. So, now that I've actually taken a stop, articulated my feelings at the beginning of this video, we can now just talk about Pride a little bit. Because honestly, as many of you know, Pride itself started as a riot. Ugh. But yeah, started as a riot, started when Stonewall in New York was going to be raided, one of the many police raids that just happened, and Marsha P. Johnson just had enough. She went off. She threw a brick, I think, is the story. She threw a brick at this glass across the street, across the way in the bar, and basically just said, hell no, not tonight. And then they drove the police out, which was unheard of. Because it really kind of kicked off the idea that you can do this. And between her and her friends, Sylvia Johnson, I think, not Sylvia Rivera, beautiful Latina woman, both of them drove so much change out on the street. And we just gotta remember and honor the fact that that's how this started, is by civil disobedience. Through many protests, and the fact that the police will crack down. I mean, police brutality is part of the reason why Marsha was not having it that night. We gotta acknowledge we got our rights via that change. I am so happy we did. I mean, we only got the right to marry 4 years ago. Woo! This game be beaten. Woo! Definitely glad to have you all here. Love and care about you all. Stay safe. It's putting pressure on everybody. Specifically, that guy. I mean, we all kind of know what that's symbolizing there. Forget that guy. Oh. Boom. Love you. Let's go love you. Get it, bunny! Yes. Boop. So close. Ah. Got it. Good job, Bonnie. Love wins. Yeah. Okay. Next we went to Madrid. Two, 1, 0. Woo! Just watching the top for a second. If you're ever interested in learning more about any of those voices that I've mentioned today, there's some really good podcasts on them. But beyond that, do hope that you give to the protests, that you try and support them as best you can. Ooh. Looks like a lot of happy people on the screen. Plus the music's fun. I am also never the most eloquent when I'm talking about anything like this, because two things are hindering me. One is the fact that from an old rugby injury, I actually have problems with finding words. And I also have problems with visual spatial. So, word finding difficulties plus visual spatial means game like this is actually a little harder than it should be. As much as I love this, because honestly I was a big DDR fan. But, nope. It's always easier when it's my full body, I don't know why. It's probably because I was an ex-athlete than just following arrows on a screen. Boop, boop, bop, boop, boop, boop. Boop, boop, bop, beep, boop, bop, bop. Beep, doop, bop, beep, bop, boop, bop. Woo! Bop, bop. It's a really cute, fun game. Might play this a little bit more later. You kind of basically get the gist of it, though. Woo! Pride! Dance stool. Teddy! Oh my god, yes. Oh. Okay. Down and up. Ooh, that's a hard one. Okay. Oh my god. Ooh, that's hard. Woo! That's oh. Wah! Get it! Boop, boop. Wait, down, up, there we go. Boom! Button smash the simulator. Control the buttons. Wham bam. Thank you, ma'am. Boom. Final shot. Yeah. Get it. Okay. Come on. It's a cute one. Anyways, I think I'm going to leave this off here. It's a really fun game, and it's a lot of rainbows and fun and greatness. But it's important to remember two things from this. Black Lives Matter, and Pride was a riot. We got change from protests just like we will win and get change through these. I care about you all. Please be safe. Love you. See you later. Bye.